When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And thank you for subscribing to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I am your boy 12 Kyle. Man, check this out. On this episode, what I want to talk about is a meme that I came across on Instagram the other day, and it talked about fathers. And naturally, because I'm a father, when I saw it, it immediately caught my attention. And it was something that once I saw it, I wanted to share it with you guys. I think the idea of fatherhood is a great thing. It's one of those things that, like, to me, and I've said this thousands of times, and I'll say it until, I'm no longer here. But as a father, it's the greatest job that I'll ever have. And it's a job that I cannot afford to fail at. And so I do everything that I can to succeed. Will I make mistakes? Of course, because I'm human, right? But the other side of it is that sometimes, it's on the job training. Like, you're learning as you go. Some of us get a chance to learn from our fathers. Others of us learn from other father figures. And then there's some that learn from, our mothers or grandmothers or whomever, and we become fathers that way as well. But I wanted to share with you, it's a couple of points. It says things that your father never told you. And I just thought that it really hit home in a lot of different ways. And these are just a couple of points, and they're in no particular order. Number one, things that the father never told you. One, his love for you was stronger than you might not have heard him say, but he tried his hardest to show you through his actions. Now, that's very key, I think, because there are a lot of fathers who didn't really openly express their love for their children. While that may be, and it really depends on the age, because I know, like, for me, like, I'm 52 at the time of this recording. My father, my grandfather in particular, I'm pretty sure my grandfathers probably didn't tell their children that they loved them like I tell my kids I love them. Like, I tell my kids I love them every day. And, it doesn't matter if I see them every day, anytime we communicate, anytime we text, whatever, if we're on the phone, particularly for my kids who aren't, in my house anymore, we always end the call with, I love you, because that's just what we do. And I don't ever want them to think or feel like their dad doesn't love them, because I love them more than they'll ever know. They'll only know this kind of love that I have for them probably the day that they become parents. And even then, it still is not going to be the same. But there was a part of, particularly in our generation previous generations, where men had a little bit harder time expressing their love for their children. They did it more so showing through their actions. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think a lot of times kids need to hear from their fathers how much their fathers love them. We know that you love them because you're providing for them, but you also have to tell them that you love them as well. I think that's very important. And I think kids ultimately succeed and they feel a lot better about themselves and their situation when they hear it coming from their parents, as opposed to hearing it from someone in the streets. Number two, at every achievement of yours, he'd cheer you on and then immediately try to smooth your path for your next victory. Yes, I think that definitely speaks volumes to me on a personal note because I am my kid's biggest cheerleader. I always want to cheer them on. I always want to see them succeed. I always want to see them win. I'm going to try to make the road as easy as possible for them. That's why I work as hard as I do. I tell my kids all the time, like, I don't do anything for me. I stopped doing stuff for me long time ago. you know, I tell them all the time, like, there would be no way we'd be in this big house if it was just, if I just worried about me, if it wasn't for my kids, because I literally could have been living in a box. Not literally, but you get my point. So no, it's not even about the material possessions, but it's just really about, like, I grinded and I hustled to get where I am, and I will continue to grind and hustle to get where I'm going, because that's just the nature in me. But I do it for them. I stopped doing it for me a long time ago. Like, as many of you know, I'm a father of 4. My wife and I have 4 kids. 8 at the time of this recording. Age is 26. Our oldest son, Dion, is 26. Our middle son, Cameron, is 23. Our youngest son, Brandon, is 18. And our daughter, Skylar, is 13. She's about to be 14, which is crazy. But yeah, but I do it for them. Like, and every time that they achieve something, I'm right there cheering them on, because I'm their biggest cheerleader. If you've been following the podcast, you know that all 4 of them recently had a graduation, and I was right there at every graduation, tired, but there. But I wouldn't miss it for the world, because I think it's important that they need to see their parents, more specifically. They need to see me there cheering them on, because again, I'm their biggest cheerleader. Number 3, things that your father never told you. His biggest wish was to be the man that you looked up to. I think that's probably more important than people realize. As a father, if you're a real father, the last thing you want to do is disappoint your children. You want to be the man that they look up to. And it doesn't matter who you are. Your kids see you as a superhero.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sergeant Major of the Army retired Dan Daly.
And I'm Lieutenant General retired Leslie C. Smith.
And we're the hosts of Army Matters. We bring you stories from the battlefields to the barracks to the boardrooms.
We have stories of bravery, of leadership, friendship, family. Stories of how I kept Dan Daly out of trouble for all those years in the Pentagon.
Follow or subscribe to Army Matters in your podcast app right now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
If you work in university maintenance, Grainger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Grainger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more. And all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, visit Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And then as they get older, they realize that, hey, you're a human being. You have flaws. But that still doesn't mean that they don't think you're Superman. They still think that you can do the impossible. And even when you can't, you make them feel like you can. And I think that's important. But as a father, the last thing you want to do is disappoint them. So you want to be that man that they look up to. Number 4, again, these are no particular order. The things that your father never told you. Number 4, through every challenge and sacrifice that he made, he would happily go through the same thing 1,000 times over. Man, listen, I can't begin to tell you the sacrifices that I made in my life for my kids. And I continue to sacrifice. And I don't mind, because I want them to be better than me. I think I was pretty good. But I think I see the greatness in them. I see the potential in them. I see that they can go so much further than I did. And, you know, they've got a guy in me who has a battery in his back that won't quit. And so I'm going to keep pushing and pushing them. And so, no, I want to, anything that I can do for them, I'm going to make whatever sacrifices I need to make for them, as long as they're doing what they're supposed to do. Now, you can't be no bum. As long as you ain't no bum and you're on drugs and all the stuff like that, then it's all good. But, they got to know that dad is always got their back 1,000%. Number 5, things that your father never told you. You are the light that help him seize brighter things in the future. Listen, real dads can relate. Real dads can relate. And I'll be honest, I'm surrounded by some really great fathers, not just in my family, with my brother and my cousins, but my friends. Like, I don't have any friends who are deadbeat dads. Like, all of my friends are really, and I'm not just saying it because they're my friends, but they're really great fathers. Like, they're really always have been and always will be active participants in their children's lives. Some of them are still married. Some of them aren't. Some of them are divorced. Some of them widowed. But they are active in their child's lives. And I think that's important. And they are, a constant reminder of who they are and how great they can be. And, when you look at your kids, you should see the future. You should see, as bleak as things are that we see in the world today, when you look at your kids, you can say, okay, well, I think my kid, when they get older, they can make a difference. And I think that makes, I think that makes things better, at least your outlook for things. And hopefully that's how our parents did for us. I would like to think that they did. Hopefully yours did. I know mine did. And so I think that makes a difference. And the last but not least, when things that your father never told you, every single thing that you ever accomplished validated every effort that he made. You are his proudest achievement. Listen, I don't think, if you know me, you know how extremely proud that I am of my kids. I would hope that all of you who are parents, who are fortunate enough to be parents, are proud of your kids. Even when they mess up, you're still going to be proud of them. And what I want you to continue to do is, push them to be great. And I don't mean necessarily that they have to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, or they got to dribble a basketball in the NBA or anything like that, but just push them to their level of greatness. Each of these kids that we have, my kids, your kids, the kids down the street, they have something in them. The difference is that a lot of times it depends on who's at home, pushing that child, encouraging that child, giving them love, giving them discipline, and more importantly, giving them an example to follow. And that's making the difference in their life. And so I think that last thing makes a lot of sense to me. Every single thing that you've ever accomplished validates every effort that your father made. You are his proudest achievement. My 4 are my proudest achievements. Listen, I could win the Nobel Peace Prize tomorrow. This podcast could be nominated for a Grammy or whatever. It doesn't matter. None of that will ever top the 4 that I have. I wouldn't trade them for the world. I love them to life. I know that I did live before I had them, but life has been so much better since I've had them. And, one of the greatest things that I'll ever be able to say is that I'm their dad. And that, to me, means everything. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me. Thanks again for checking out this edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast. We drop new episodes every Sunday and every Thursday. Also, we have a new baby. Check out the Rap Soul podcast. It is my music podcast, especially for music lovers. Where we talk on the Rap Soul podcast, we talk about music and artists from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s when it comes to rap, soul, hip hop, and R&B. Listen, it's the best music podcast that you've never heard, so check it out. You can find it wherever you're listening or watching this podcast. We are also on YouTube. Check out the YouTube page, and there you can subscribe and share with a friend. Also, we're on social media, 12 Kyle podcast, Rap Soul podcast across the board. If you are so inclined, if you would like to donate to the podcast financially, hit us up on Cash App, $TWELVEKYLE. Also, we have merch. Click the merch button in the description And there you will find the 12 Kyle Podcast t-shirts, hoodies, as well as coffee mugs. We got it for the low. Once again, that's going to do it for us. I am your boy 12 Kyle. I'll catch you guys next time. 5,000. Chill.
When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.